All right. So thanks for coming on and talking to me for about an hour or so. This is the Eric
Absolutely.
Swahn Racing.com podcast number 95 today. And today I have Eddie Abraham, EZ22, and
Yes, sir.
on Instagram underscore after that, I think, right?
Yep.
And then, yeah, you're a motorcycle guy. You're a big motorsports aficionado of sorts. And I just want
Right.
to get to know you a little bit better and promote you, your sponsors, and just have a conversation.
Awesome, man. Absolutely. Well, listen, Eric, man, I thank you for having me. I'm a big fan of what you're doing. I'm very familiar, with what you've been doing and the tenure that you've had over the last year, pumping these podcasts and these interviews. And there's been a lot of fast guys, a lot of fast girls, ladies that, had here. So I'm just, honored to meet with you and capture your attention and to see what I'm doing and helping out. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. But just to give some special shout outs to some guys, I want to give a shout out to Ronnie at First Choice Auto in the Bronx. They did some paint work for me this year for the Hammerhead Shark bike that I did for my race bike this year. I'll actually have you post the link for that later and send some info up. But shout out to Ronnie. Shout out to New York Safety Track, Greg at New York Safety Track. Shout out to Charity at Riders Club of New Jersey Motorsports Park. Awesome organization down there. I just started coaching there this year. I just got on the official team for the coaching of Riders Club, so I'm very excited about that. So, definitely get your memberships and join the Riders Club. If you're located closer to upstate New York, get your memberships with Safety Track, and that's an awesome place to learn and, kind of start gradual as you build up. So just to name a few, Moto D, a couple guys. So again, just want to thank you, Eric, for having me, man. And I'm excited to, just roll with the punches and see what we got going on here today.
Yeah, for sure. Tell some funny stories, shoot the shit, say whatever's going on. And I
Absolutely.
was just at Road Atlanta in Georgia and
Okay.
working at the event. I got there Wednesday night and
Okay.
Thursday set up for air fence all day from 8 to pretty much 8 p.m. I got an hour for lunch. But
Okay.
yeah, that's hard work, man. Blowing up we had about 65 28-foot long air fences. So
That's
you're
crazy.
just working with leaf blowers. We had 6 of them, and we had about 9 people to do 65 of them total. So it takes quite a while, even with some high-powered, forcing air in there. It still
Right.
takes. And there's the right procedure to doing it, so you got to learn the procedure, and it's pretty cool learning all the ins and outs and the behind-the-scenes parts of racing.
I think Cameron that this weekend too,
Right? Yeah, his bike ended up on one of the barriers, right?
Yeah, that's a little wicked, but I'm glad he's good. And yeah, man, everybody plays a vital part in the sport, any facet that you're in. But yeah, dude, I'm like I said, I'm excited to be here. I think the season has started for everybody. I saw a guy that you had here recently, Vito DiCarlo, freaking killing it this past weekend, running 26s, his first official weekend, first time back in Jersey on a 1000, which is nuts. So shout out to Vito, Ricky O'Hare, a couple of those guys, Georgie, you know what I mean? It was really cool to see those guys get out there to a lot of those guys like Sean Marshall, Tom Hunt coming up from amateur, going up to white plates is really, really good. Zupac, photos, shout out to you. Really cool. So, it's really good to just see the guys out there early in the weekend. And I just can't wait to get out there myself. I'm trying to, healing from a work injury that I have, but I'm trying to get out there soon and definitely going to do the July circuit. But I want to get out to Summit and have some CCS fun,
For sure. So, some people going from novice to expert, and tell me, what do you think that jump is going to be like for them?
Man, listen, I'll be honest. So last year was my first year at CCS, and I come from a whole different background, Eric. So I come from just a street background where, you get my first bike, bro, was a 04 636. And I'll tap into how that rolls into the topic of the jump to CCS and white plate from yellow. But, I come from a whole different background of just riding where, you powder coat your levers, you powder coat your rear sets, you know what I mean? And that's just, you put the little, stickers everywhere. And that's kind of what we were happy doing. And so as I started to see the gambles of life and how dangerous things are, and just in general, man, how do we still live and scratch that itch of bikes, but still live, So I was like, how do we get to, so we got to the track. I just made the transition from street to track myself officially. I did a couple of days of the A cycle back in 2015, but I officially made the jump myself in 2020 at Safety Track. So I'm a newer guy to the track. So is Vito DiCarlo. You know, I think 2019 was his first year, and look at what he's doing. So
Yeah.
we're both advocates, and I'm not saying I'm nearly as fast as V, but we're both advocates that time in this game doesn't really play a factor versus, you know, the seat time and the investment and knowledge, you know? So again, guys like Vito that were coming from, you know, amateur going up to white, and then he became white plate on the 6th, but moving up in class, you know, it's awesome, man. Again, Sean Marshall, Tom Hine, these are 2 dudes that are on 1000s that, you know, were white plates and just crazy. Tom came off an injury. Sean actually came off an injury, and they just had breakout years last year. Tom this year, you know, is really kicking into gear. So I think, honestly, Eric, with the right people behind them, the right suspension setup, I hear Mike at MDM is, you know, killing everything that he works on. So it's really, I've learned that it's really just about the setup, man. Once you have the confidence, once you have the there's a lot of fast guys out there, Eric, but they need to have that program. They need to have that connection with the off track or on site but off track guy. Hey man, listen, front's a little stiff. What do I do? Hey man, rear's a little soft. Hey man, I'm kind of fighting in turn 3. I don't know what's going on. Like, without that help, you can only go but so fast. You can only learn so much from towing. You know what I mean? And so guys like Vito, guys that are getting that help, and guys that are, you know, worth being investing in that help up, because you can't just put that help in everybody. I get that.
Right.
I excited to see what they do, you know?
For sure. It's definitely possible to come out of the gates swinging, even an expert. You know, I won my first expert race by like 13 seconds. And I was like, man, I thought that was going to be a lot different.
Yeah, nah. You got guys, Ryan May. Ryan May's on a 600. I'm not sure how long he's been a white plate, but I know he's up there now with Dorsey Birch, and they're running it, you know? So
yeah.
And it's good to really see local guys from the Jersey, New York, PA, you know, area that are just really making names for themselves ripping. So I'm happy for it. I don't really think there's really a big jump from yellow to white when you're one of those top tier yellow play guys. You know what I mean? Because you're lappers anyway. So you're white plates behind you anyway. So once you're
it does change. You know, it's kind of strange. A lot of times, if it's a really big grid, they'll have the experts in one race and they'll separate the novices. But if there's maybe not enough to have 2 races, you can combine them and have 2 waves. Experts go off. Sometimes they do it all at once, experts and novices one wave. Sometimes they do it in 2 separate waves.
right.
And so if it's 1 wave for the novices, that's like, oh man, I want to catch the experts as much as possible. And some of the experts are like, oh, I hope I don't get caught, right?
And that's exactly what happens in Jersey. My first CCS circuit ever was this past July. And it's funny because, again, I've maybe been on Jersey about 5 times, like ridden on Jersey 5 times. And the first 2 times were 2 weekends in 2015. And since then, you know, I was just learning basics, dude. I wasn't even really getting off the seat. Like, I was just doing whatever. And so really I put into, you know, fruition the timing, the learning, and, you know, asking a million questions. And I got to Jersey 2020. I think was the first time I ran Jersey back. No, 21 this summer. And I ran a 30. My first time back was like a 35, 34. And I was like, okay, like I'm cool with that my first time back. And then this is obviously stock suspension. You know, nothing really dialed in, gearing way off for Jersey, way off. And so first race weekend in Jersey, which was probably my second time at Jersey, I clicked the low 32, you know, high 31. So I was happy with that. And it kind of was a bittersweet moment because it's like, damn, to see the guys and that race pace, having racecraft, knowing when to pass, when to fall back. If I have 4 laps left, why am I trying to pass you, E? Why not wait till the second to last lap, if I know I have the pace in the back section, you know? So there was so many things about racecraft and just the track energy, dude. For a race weekend, nobody talks to each other. It's just, you know, so it was really cool to see. And honestly, it's a very dope energy if you haven't been involved with that, which you have, dude. So it's good that you're doing this and, again, expanding this for everybody. Some guys that I'm tapped in with that really have no experience or any you know, relation to the track culture, they see this podcast, they see this interview, and then they give it a shout. They see other guys that you're dealing with and women, and, you know, that's how the sport grows. So
yeah, and something I think we should always talk about more is how do we get more people to the track? Some people, like I knew nobody who raced or none of my friends in my age group had a motorcycle. So I was like the first one who got a bike, and then I was always riding with older people now, and then got into riding with groups. And then from those people, We did big group rides, and some of the guys rode on track. So I talked to some of them, asked tons of questions. Like, don't stop asking questions. There's nothing, no such thing as a stupid question, because you keep asking and you get smarter. And
Exactly.
it doesn't mean, whatever. It's just great to like use your community around you to get more information.
Exactly.
Forums like the WERA forums or Sport Bike Track Time are great forums to ask the community about different things. For what do I get for a trailer? What bike should I start out on? You don't need a race bike to go to the racetrack. I took my street bike on the racetrack with no different bodywork, without taking the lights off, or I think I took the mirrors off. I left the turn signals, or I had the integrated taillight anyway. I just took the fuse out of the headlight and taillight, and you tape them up with painter's tape. You don't even need safety wire. You don't need to do any you don't need tire warmers. You don't need stands.
Don't even need a suit, Eric. So a lot of people have this misconception about the track and what the track is. And that's why I'm actually glad that you and I got connected with each other, and you got me on the show, because I'll be honest, I don't want to say it's an issue, because an issue is essentially a problem, right? But one of the concerns, or one of the things, the light bulbs that go off in my mind as a guy that I'm not the fastest guy in the paddock. I don't ever want to be. That's just a different type of pressure, dude. Like when you're that fast guy, everybody's always chiseling for you. Everybody's always scoped on you. So there's going to be a faster guy. But while still staying in the realm of myself, how do I still remain and do me, but still get the message out there? And the main thing for me, like I said, coming from a street guy to the track was, where the hell is the track? What the hell do I bring to the track? When I get to the track, how do I ride on the track? How do I position my body? Like, where do I look, bro? Do I look at the red and white things on the ground? Like, what are they called? What's that black flag? What the hell does that mean? What's that red circle? Beep ball flag? What are they talking about? So there's so many things, Eric.
It's dinner time.
Dead ass, literally. So there's so many things, bro, that excuse my language, but there's so many things that we don't take for granted, but we don't know. Okay, if I show you something for the first time ever and you've never seen it before, E, what the hell is that? And you'll sit back and you'll listen. You don't know how to use this and click the pen until you realize oh shit, it's a marker. So with the track, I saw a lot of guys that were asking questions as I was connected with a lot of buddies that had been racing already. And E, can you get me over there? And so you have all these forums, you have Facebook forums, you have Track Day Junkie, Facebook forums, you have Sport Bike Track Ride, you have Sport Bike Track Gear, you have a lot of different forums for your bike. Say you have a Gixxer, you're a young guy, girl out there, you just bought your first Gixxer 600. There's a 600 forum everywhere, Gixxer forum. You see guys and girls your age and around your area that are modding the same bike as you. Maybe they had an experience with something that works better, that's an ineffective mod that you can just read online and do for yourself for $20, whatever. So honestly, man, we're only as good as the people around us that expose us to things. So me being a guy that, like I said, came off the street and got on the track and, for the better of my children and just myself, safety, I just feel like the track is just such a better environment. And, you have my location, you have my @ 22 Motorworks, Easy 22. You message me, you DM me, anybody that's looking to get on the track. I'm located in New York and Long Island, but anybody that's looking to get on the track, even if you're out west, you're down south in Florida, you're up north in Massachusetts and Loudoun. I know people all over. Eric, people all over, in the Midwest region, everybody. So, anybody has any questions or, has any dealings or want to get, some more information on things, we definitely are always here to help, but it's awesome to just get guys awareness. That's really what it's about. And honestly, a lot of track racers and track guys, we take that for granted. We're so wrapped up in ourselves, cutting our own track time, collecting our own data. We get a little, I don't want to say Hollywood, but we get a little big headed when we start getting a little faster and we start dropping times, you know what I mean? And we sometimes forget about the tadpoles below us, bro. And that doesn't mean that you have to cut time out of yourself, because I get that. When you're a racer, you have to always be on racing time. If you see a hole, I'm shooting it. I get it. But at the same time, I wish, especially like in the Jersey area, I wish there were more racers that were, I don't want to say more personable, but more of like a Corey Alexander, who I have a personal friendship with.
Helping the little guy up, or the newer rider than you, helping him, giving him a hand.
Because now you to see Corey, Corey came to one of my private track days, which I have one in June 17th at Safety Track, if anybody's interested. But Corey came to my track day. He brought the 50-foot, he brought his bike out, the actual race bike out. He did a quick little seminar on the bike where, some regular small town people could come and sit on Corey Alexander's Motor America ZX10, fully spec'd. And just to have that hospitality, man, and just to be able to touch out and reach somebody, shake his hand. That is what the game needs, bro. We have a lot of fast guys in the game that really don't have that inviting energy, dude, and it's kind of like, hold on, or like chill. I'm so-and-so. Dude, you're nobody once you leave New Jersey Motorsports Park. You go back to your regular 5, because none of us are rich enough to do racing full time like that, where we don't have a second job. So swell your head a little less, So shout out to Corey, man. He killed it last weekend. But yeah, Eric, man, that's really what we're here to do. Just keep, expanding the game and keep doing what we got,
For sure. So what series are you racing in now?
So this year, man, I just finished the Beamer. Everything is stock. I'm still on stock suspension. I'm kind of in that limbo, Eric, of like, and again, money is always like a thing because racing is crazy. $400 slicks every weekend, every race, I get it. But more importantly, other than the finances, because your life is priceless and you're fun, my thing is the family. I have a newborn, my daughter's 2 weeks old now. So I'm racing in the 1,000 class. I'll be racing a limited GP, I got about a couple more months left in Rookies Cup, so I'll give it a go with a couple guys that I got in Rookies Cup that I got a lot quicker. And
so honestly, is that CCS?
This is correct. This is CCS, no ASRA yet, but this is CCS Northeast region.
So championship cup series for points for like a championship round.
Yeah. So I'm taking into account that we're already like in the realm, but yeah. So championship cup series. I'm an amateur racer. I'm a yellow plate. And just honestly, I'm not really grinding for the 400 points for the white plate. I just really want to grit up with my buddies, man, and just have some memories, dude. Learn some racecraft, and I've learned that obviously racing has gotten me a lot quicker. Just in that 1 week in a racing, bro, my regular pace didn't feel normal at all. So
yeah.
Just the exposure, man. The jitters, the pre-jitters you get, everybody goes for the sit down in the stall before the race,
Yeah.
I'm
just lose a couple of pounds before the race, get some weight off of you.
You lighten up, exactly. Everybody. So, honestly, Eric, that's what I want, man. I might do an ASRA run. Like I said, I want to get down to Summit. I hear Summit's a great 1,000 track. So I want to get down to Summit and race. I would like to go down and maybe see CMP. That's over down, when the kids get a little older. But right now, man, I'm kind of stuck in this area, trying to just get it and keep spreading awareness, man,
For sure. Now, tell me about your decision to ride 1,000 versus 600 on the track.
Right. So honestly, man, if I could do it again, I would definitely go back with the 6. I'm not an ego guy. I'm not just because the motor's stronger doesn't mean you're any faster, dude. If anything, you're probably slower. I can probably get on a fully spec 600 right now with suspension and probably click a 29 before I would on my Beamer at Jersey.
Isn't that interesting how that works?
Yeah, it is. And I'm not here for that, dude. Trust me. There's a lot of guys that think, I got the fucking brand new $12.99. Listen, bro, you will get smoked on that fast shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But to be honest with you, what it was for me was I'm a street guy. I have a lot of videos of me, running on some local highways, pinned 186 for literally miles, dude, not letting off, holding it.
Yeah.
And that's where we need the 1,000, 600s, you're back at the pump, So at the end of the day, it went from, okay, had a little epiphany, streets are dead, no more with the streets. Perfectly good BMW right here. Fuck it.
Why not, right?
That was really what inspired that. It really, and the BMW S1000 has been literally my dream bike, dude. Like I loved it. I've always the shark gill inspired aesthetics. Like I've loved the bike. And then I've also learned that the R1 is really just the track missile, man. Like the R1, it just does everything right. Yamaha's research.
I just heard that they came out with the new BMW. It's R1000R. I think it's called.
The M1000R?
I think it's R1000R or something like that. It's It didn't have an S in it this time.
Really? And it's an R1000 and it's a super sport?
I think it's a superbike for it was in the World Superbike class.
Okay. Well, if
one of the guys was riding it there.
Who was riding it?
I just said one of the guys was riding it there. I forget who was on the bike. I think a couple of different guys.
Gotcha. Yeah. So Max BMW, they sent me down to RR Fest last summer to ride with Double R Fest, to ride with Nate Kern, the USA ambassador. And he was actually talking about the highly anticipated M1000. double R, which was actually there, and which is the newest, to my understanding, was the newest bike that BMW released, and which is what Corey's actually running right now. And if there were 1,000, I would hope that Corey would be on the newest Beamer, you know, if there was more of a missile. So I got to do my research with that. But the M1000, bro, that thing is just a freaking animal. You know what I mean? But I know again.
That 23 was ripping this weekend. He was going really fast. Number 23, Corey.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Corey's a monster, man. He's you know, so funny. He's so gentle in person. He's so quiet. He's so humble, and then he leaves nothing available on the track. Awesome, man. It's really awesome.
For sure. Well, yeah. Go ahead.
When you raced, what region were you racing?
I did the North Central region most of the time. I'm in Michigan, but I also did some Southeast and some Mid Central, mostly with Wera. I never raced with CCS. I don't believe. Anyways, I did Moto Series like for one weekend at Nelson Ledges, and then mostly Wera, but also I've done karting and autocross for cars and track days for cars, and mountain bike racing and foot racing and all that stuff.
You're just American.
I just try to do it all, and you know, I just got into supermoto lately. Last year I did some supermoto, and I borrowed my buddy's bikes and doing like 100cc, 250, and 450, and they have an indoor 50cc mini bike, you know, XR50, CRF50s is the chassis to be on, it seems like. And sometimes it'll be 60, 70 bikes will show up for a track day or an event like that. Indoor timing and scoring at a go-kart track. What's that?
Where's it located?
It's in Sterling Heights, Michigan. It's like 2 miles from my house, but they actually had to stop the events because this is not like a purpose-built racing warehouse. This is just a warehouse they decided to put a kart track in. And for the go-karts, the emissions are fine. But when you have 70 mini bikes wrapping it up, you know, it causes a problem. So I think the fire department got called for their CO2 emissions, so they got to upgrade their fans and their air cycling out.
I dig it. I actually wanted to ask you. I've been looking to get some off-track training in dirt, and while motocross and jumpers and all of that, I've heard nightmares about that. I definitely wanted to get into some flat tracking and learning, you know, the being comfortable with the rear uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Once we get off the line here, I'll if you know some guys that in your area, know some guys in my area that are doing that, I would love to, you know, suit up this summer on some off days or maybe over the winter. And like I said, decent track, because that dirt is, I'm starting to see now the difference on the blacktop with boys that got that dirt experience and boys that don't have that dirt experience. It's so night and day, dude, you know?
If you can't control the slide, you're gonna crash.
Hands down.
You're just gonna crash. And you're sliding the entire time that you're on the dirt. So that gives you a lot of feel and understanding of what the motorcycle is doing underneath you. And actually, one of the podcasts I did not too long ago with Aaron Stevenson, I think it was, called Corner Spin. He runs down
in North Carolina,
program down south in North Carolina area, and it's all for dirt training for road racers on XR 100s or 110, something like that. That's really the chassis to be on. That kind of CC is low risk, but you can go over the limit and take it back and bring it back and not have to crash every time. And that's what it's about, you know, learning how to go over and not crash and bring it back. And you know, that's what's happening all the time when you're really going fast on a street bike or a sport bike. You know, you're pushing the front and then you're pushing the rear. If you're at maximum pace, you're pushing both tires every corner to its maximum amount for that corner, right? So you have to learn how to, and then the tires will degrade through the race, and your fuel, you know, gets lighter. So your motorcycle is always changing underneath you, and the temperature is not constant either. It might be a wet track, but it's not raining, or a dry track and it gets hotter, or this section's cold because there's trees there. You know, it's every section, or there might be a curbing you don't want to hit, and you know, you just gotta soak in all this information and make the best decision.
Yeah, dude. No, it's and that's what I think about. That's why I it's so funny, because a lot of guys that don't understand the track, they really think it's just following this one imaginary line and flowing and hitting the same markers and trailing. hitting the same markers and no, dude, like you have to take a different line to get around you. I might show a different line just to throw you off, to get you out the way so I can then take another line. There's so many things that incorporate with just a track day, because we could play cat and mouse, Eric. It's not about always racing, but you got to a lot with the track day. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure that be clear as well, you know, but yeah, dude, I just think that there's a lot of, this is awesome because this is, again, just getting the voice out and just getting the narrative out. And if people don't know and they don't hear, then how do they change for the better? You know what I mean, dude? So again, I can't stress enough what you're doing. And again, me trying to get guys off the streets, if you're local in the New York area, Long Island area, Connecticut area, Jersey, and you're looking to grab somebody locally that can maybe show you, you know, some early beginning tips up into that fast intermediate, you know, basic expert level, I'm there. You know what I mean? Obviously, when it gets faster, and then you have your CCS top runner guys, I mean, that they're in a whole different league, and some of those guys don't have 2 kids, a mortgage, you know, a career with a pension, and they're in law enforcement like I am. So a lot of different factors. I can't risk getting hurt snapping in wrists and then doing the job. So carrying a firearm. So, you know, there's a lot of things, Eric, man, that I have been blessed to be around people like yourself and, you know, guys like Vito, again, as I mentioned. I don't know if you've done an interview with him, but Jim Mccorville, he's running the 600. He's a big Motul sponsor.
I have not yet.
Okay, Jim is awesome, dude. Jim Mccorville, he's running he's in like the F40 class. He does a lot of traveling. That dude, bro, literally hits every round.
Oh, wow. He said he's involved with Motul.
He's involved with Motul. He's always repping Motul. I believe he's an ambassador for them. He's an awesome guy. He rocks with Michelin Heavy. Again, Jim Mccorville. He's an awesome.
Okay, yeah,
awesome.
I gotta. You know, there's so many people I want to talk to. I'll reach out to a lot of people. Sometimes they don't see the message. I don't want to bug them. You know, so it's like I try to move on to the next person. But yeah, I would, if you guys know anybody or think of anybody I should talk to, definitely reach out, and I'd be happy to.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So what's your plans for this year, Eric? Are you going to find yourself kind of a little bit traveling? Are you staying in the Midwest? What are you doing, bro?
So I've had a pretty busy season already. I've been to, I think, 6 rounds. I did ARMA Daytona for vintage bikes. They did the road race, you know, circuit, and then they had flat track as well.
Nice.
I was flagging for both of those as a track marshal. And
nice.
Then I went to Homestead Miami Speedway and CCS.
Okay.
I did St. Petersburg for IndyCar.
Okay.
And then I went to Daytona 200 for Moto America opener.
That was.
I was at turn 3 most of the time at that event. And then let's see, I also did. Well, I just got back from Road Atlanta, Georgia, so I did that event. And I actually, there's a couple times I was on TV picking up motorcycles in the gravel trap. So that's pretty cool. I got a great video of me and my buddy running out to the bike and picking them up. And man, if you crash in turn 12 in that massive gravel pit there, you need at least 3.5 people to push that bike out of there. Even with a strap to pick up the rear tire, man, it's so thick, it's nuts.
First of all, how does that look in person when they come down 12, backing the bikes in like that, bro?
Oh, it's pretty cool, man. But it can be gnarly when I saw Patricia crash down there. She high-sided in the hooligans down the hill, and just.
What? She came down and she high-sided?
Yeah, she like I think when she put the front down on the wheelie, like the rear end kind of spun up a little bit, and it just spun her, and man, that bike was wrecked. Ejectocito, cuz man, it was not a good one. But she was set up on her own, and she was awesome. Eventually fine. You know, no major injuries.
And honestly, that's why we do this stuff. Not for nothing. How many people do you know, fall in the interstate, get high-sided, sent to the moon, and then no major injuries? You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
I fell in Jersey, turn 4. I went into turn 4 and I went in hot, and I was approaching somebody. It got a little crazy. I was at Max Lean, Max Trail. And obviously, you're always responsible for you and the person in front of you. That's not their responsibility. So
yeah, and you never want to take the other guy out, right?
Nope. I stood up, battled the grass, hit a little wobble, left, right, and then ejectocito. You know what I mean? But again, I fell at 100 miles an hour. I slid about 50 yards, 40 yards, rolled, and then got up, loaded the bike, and then drove 3 hours home. I was cleared by EMS, and everything. But dude, you don't see many fuck themselves up on the streets and then, damn, let me drive home now. It doesn't happen, So That's
Yeah,
why we
it's a different world. But I was just talking to someone the other day, and they were like, "Oh man, how do you not get all like cut up and all your skin rash and all this?" I was like, you don't understand at all what's happening, do you?"
uh,
So for people who don't know about this or just watching for the first time, motorcycle racers are required every single time to wear a full race suit from head to toe, usually leather or kangaroo or composite and stretch panel areas, that kind of thing. But it's also completely enforced with armor. You have like
yeah,
CE certified elbow and shoulder and knee, and I wear external or internal a hip protection and Cossacks extra, and a full back protector and chest
yeah.
protector, and a full face helmet with full gauntlet gloves that go halfway into your wrist, and 12-inch high boots. And it does not hurt normally when you drag your knee on the ground.
Right. At all. At all. These suits, so a lot of people also don't realize, like you said, Eric, you can have the suit, you can have the gloves, you can have the gauntlet. You can have the suit, you can have the gloves, you can have the boots, the helmet, the whole shebang. If your suit, ladies and gentlemen, does not fit securely to your skin, your arm, your elbow, and the designated areas where they're supposed to be, when you fall, not if, but when, because everybody falls at some point and it sucks, but when you fall, you never want to have a baggy suit where your body is internally moving inside of the suit. I don't want the suit to be moving and so, because that'll cause rash, that'll cause essentially like a rug burn type of deal. So you want to always have a suit that's nice fitted. You should be able to wear a suit, stand up, and it feels slightly snug, but it feels more secure when you're crouched. As you can attest, Eric, a lot of guys, they get a suit. Oh man, I can't stand up in this shit. I need to get a bigger size. No,
Yeah.
you want to be able to stand up and talk and kind of walk, but you want the natural conformity of the suit to be in a crouching manner. So I offer custom suits as well. I teamed up with Salem at Historic GP. He's
Nice.
he's a very big, he's one of my, actually, I missed that being one of my biggest sponsors. This being one of the suits that we designed for myself last year, which is the suit that I actually fell. I had the 100-mile-an-hour get off on. And I burnt off one of the side patches on the wrist, as you can see, area. But other than that, everything was still intact, rolling at 100 miles an hour. But
yeah, they say if the suit's too big, if it folds, it can fail because that creates like a hot spot, and that's a easy way for the suit to rip.
Exactly. And so, having a suit that properly fits you, having something that is conformed to your body, the suits are calculated of 23 measurements, again, of your body. So as opposed to, and I'm not saying off the rack, anything is not amazing. Dainese, which they reached out to me to be a New York City brand ambassador earlier in the fall. They ended up going a different direction, but catch their attention on a national level. And we reached out to about the marketing development manager of the USA of Dainese to tell me that they had been reaching out and looking at me for the past 8 months to rep the New York area. I thought that was really just a blessing from all the hard work that I've been, from not
That's
knowing that.
Cool.
Yeah, I didn't know somebody, I didn't know they were watching. I had no idea that you never know who's watching, man. You just got to do what you do for yourself. Honestly, if it's genuine, it's in you, it'll be consistent.
For sure. So, just if you find a passion in something, just lean into it. Keep doing that and see where it takes you.
But I'll be honest with you, Eric, it's funny, man, because a lot of guys from the track scene, not a lot, but I got resistance from guys in the track scene because it was like, yo, like you just kind of got here. You haven't been tracking long. You're not a racer. You're not here every, and this was at the time before I graded for the first time, how are you giving seminars? How are you helping people? How are you giving body position? How are you? Personally, Eric, that's the problem. We get super fast. We click 26s, 27s, 28s at Jersey, get down to the 23s, 24s, which is just lightning, dude. And then we forget how to even talk. We forget how to just really just take off the Superman cape, dude. And that's why I kind of wanted to be on like a amateur level where I can still reach down and grab some of the lower people and, hey, dude, this is what you got to try. You know what I mean? And then, hey, you fast guy, yo, question, how do you do this? So I was kind of like judged by that and kind of like, some people frowned upon it. Oh, well, you haven't been in the game too long, but I haven't been in the game long, but clearly what I'm doing has been working for me.
Yeah. I'm all about, I think there's a coach for every level. Like there's a professional coach, there's an intermediate coach, there's a beginner coach, there's a novice coach, there's a beginner novice coach, like what's
That
whatever's before that.
exactly
Every single level should have somebody for that level.
right.
And
And,
so there's no saying that there's not a place for you in a world of 8 billion people. If you got 8 billion people, there's a coach for everybody.
right, exactly. So that was the message that I really wanted to push coming on here today, because it was like, not for nothing, Eric. We have a lot of fast guys and fast ladies that are, like I said, in our world, and so much awesome information. And it's like, not for nothing, say you collect data for your particular bike and chassis. I get it. You want to hold that data for you. Maybe your gearing, maybe your stiffness, how many clicks, whatever shall you. But then it goes to, where do we cancel that out and still help? And I'm not saying you don't give anybody anything. Essentially, you have to earn everything in life. I get that. But like I'm not telling you so you don't get faster than me.
Yeah.
See how you laugh?
One time it was funny you mentioned that, because like I was telling my friend who had never been to Mid Ohio the line to this one corner, and he's like way faster than me, so it really didn't matter what I told him. And my other friend is like, "Why are you telling him that? Like, he doesn't need to know that." I'm like, "Because he's gonna find out anyway. I'm just trying to talk with him and like to tell him some tips of the track."
So, and then by you not showing him that line, he's so freaking fast that he comes in there blazing, trail breaking, and loses the front, and now hurts himself because you're his buddy, but just purposely decided not to show him the line. And that is the problem with, that's the small problem that I have with the track community. And that's why I'm just kind of trying to be pure, dude. And just, if I know it and I know my gearing for my particular bike, then shit, why not? Because at the end of the day, you still got to ride the mug, the mug. You still got to ride. So I can give you the gearing.
My other buddy just didn't want him to get beat.
I get it. You get what I'm saying? You and I go down the same road. I get that. Yeah. But like, he didn't want to beat, but dude, he's gonna get you anyway. Like, he's gonna get you away. So yeah, man, Eric, honestly, dude, like, it's these are good. People need to just see what's available to them and how not scary the track is. It's you literally can go to safety track. You can set up a freaking tent. You can bring a grill, your husband, your wife, your kids. You can bring the little razor scooters for them, the electric little dirt bikes. They can run around the paddock, do their thing, and whatever else. And then you get to it and practice your lines and do what you do with the buddies on the blacktop. So this track is everybody's not a race. Everything is not a race. There's different groups for different levels of people. You don't just have to be an expert to go to a track, even if it is an expert track like New Jersey. You know what I mean? And that's what I really want to just stress. And, Riders Club and a lot of different groups out there, N2, they're more so, they have a lot of like racers that train with N2. And I know Kaylee and a couple females that ride with N2, which is a astonishing organization. Shout out to N2. But, Riders Club, they just have like a very homey, relaxed, calm environment, and that's really why we're here, Eric. Take the stress out of the shit and just ride our ride, man. If you get somebody picks up on you, Corey Alexander, he picked up on Vito. They took him out to Chuck Waller. He did his thing, some off-season training. Kid came out like a bat out of hell, even still. You know what I mean? And he's just awesome talent. So
for sure. And for anybody who wants to ride on a track, and you don't even have all your gear yet, that's okay. I would suggest ride out to your local track, look up N2 track days, look up Sport Bike Track Time, look up any track day organization or race event or amateur or professional, CCS, WERA, Moto Series, Moto America, IndyCar, Formula One, whatever. Go to a racetrack and watch it and see what it's about, and watch the motorcycles on track and talk to the riders. You can usually, if it's an amateur event, go into the pits and we'll just walk around for like a $15, $20 gate fee. And that's it. There's no you don't have to buy a ticket. There's no major ticketing or anything like that. There's no will call. It's just you walk up, there's a gate fee, they let you in, and you have pretty much access to the entire event.
See the bikes, you can see the tire warmers, you can ask about temperatures. And let me just add,
VIP pit lane access, everything.
Let me just add to that, Eric. At the track, and again, I'm hosting a track day, June 17th. For $100, Eric, they can actually rent a suit, a one-piece suit, a gauntlet glove set, and a set of boots for the day with the track event. You know what I mean? There, where you're not invested into a $2,000 suit and you may be hanging up in the closet until August when you go a second track day. So there's so many options, man. And I'm so glad, Eric, that again, you're bringing awareness and you just have these outlets, dude, because we're only good as the next people we're connected to, So.
Yeah. And although I'm a little biased, I said this before I sold parts. You should always buy the best gear you can afford because it'll save you in hospital bills, and that's really the truth.
100%.
I sell Revit. I have an Alpine Star suit, so I feel like I should, buy a Revit suit. I just got a Revit jacket for the street though.
Yeah, very.
So I'm excited to get that ready to go and ride on the street. But yeah, you can buy a suit for less than $1,000 to just get started by entry level, but they can go up as far as $4,000 or $5,000 for the highest level that the pros wear, airbag suits that expand within a nanosecond of ejectocito.
Right. Exactly. And it's all about just keeping you safe and making sure you get home to your family. At the end of the day, man, everybody that's riding, no matter the fastest, most top racer out there, or your guy that just, can't figure out the line for the life of him, but he just has all the enthusiasm in the world with all the sickest gear, whatever have you. Everybody has one goal, man. And that's really just to have fun, have fun and stay alive. Because honestly, and shout out to Lloyd Bailey, rest in peace, Lloyd. He was a personal friend of mine. One of the fastest guys I think a lot of us have known. One of the most consistent guys I think a lot of us know, doing 80 lap races, killing it. And
Wow.
just like it can end in a matter of seconds, And so I say that to say, be kind to people while you can. Show respect to people while you can. The fastest racer, coolest guy, signing autographs, and the Marc Marquez's of the world can expire just like that when God is ready, or whatever faith you believe in. I'm not here to, preach on anybody, but so hell yeah, dude, hell yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we got to pay respect to the riders for sure. And I guess I can give a quick shout out to a bunch of guys if you don't mind. I got some posters from doing the pit lane walk and some signatures and all that. And I'm actually wearing the Nolan Lampkin 52 right now. He was unfortunately not at Atlanta. He's on the new BMW. He moved up to the 1000 class, but I guess they're having problems with their electronic package. So he wasn't at that event, but I'm sure he'll be at some remaining rounds of the season. I got a little sticker here. See if you see that from Bazooka Joe. It's kind of too bright, maybe.
That's cool. That's dope.
Bazooka Joe.
I see it. Yep.
That's Joseph Lamandry, right?
Yeah, Joe Lamandry. He's in the super sport class in Jersey. Awesome kid, dude. Yep. Joe, what up?
I got Jeff May. Jeff May here. Awesome. Number 99.
Awesome.
Vision Wheel. Got signatures. I got signatures on most of these things, I think.
That's so awesome, man.
And then I haven't even looked at all of them yet. Max Flinders, I podcasted with him already.
Awesome.
And after a year or so, I'm going to try to get most people back on it, get a little update.
Absolutely. No, you definitely got to get Joe on here. There was this younger dude, I believe he's 16 years old. He's riding for Vision Wheel, I believe now. Quick as hell. Awesome.
Jake Lewis there. He's doing really well. He got his first Superbike podium in 4 years, I think.
What's Jake? What companies Jake riding with now? He's on the Suzuki.
He's with the M4, which is a product that I sell. M4 X-Star Suzuki team.
Yep.
Team Hammer, basically. We got Cam Peterson stickers.
Cam Peterson. What up, Cam?
That's Cam awesome. Peterson. And then we got let's see, Sam Lockoff, the number 44. I'm sorry.
Sam's a really cool dude. Yep. He's at Jersey. So he's at Jersey.
Yep, and he's on the M4 team as well. And then we got his up from the junior class, we got Tyler Scott, number 70.
Tyler Scott. Yeah, 16-year-old, right?
He's a young guy, man.
Ripping this weekend. Shout out to Tyler, man. I'm really happy to see what he's doing this year coming up.
And then Liam Grant, I think he's a newcomer to the class.
Awesome.
Number 90 there. And we got, let's see, Pure Attitude Racing. We got an economical poster. Got them all on this one. Awesome. I think Trevor Standish.
That's so dope.
Who else we got? Trevor Standish, Liam McDonald, and Chase Black. And then we got, let's see, Justin Bemmer. And actually, he's got wristband I'm wearing.
Okay.
Remember those like Live Strong kind of thing, wristbands?
I
got one here. It's Justin Bemmer.
That's
wristband
awesome.
On it.
That's awesome.
Number 67.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Max Van. I think he won his first race this weekend. He got 2 podiums, if I'm not mistaken. And I used to kind of work with him at STG. And when I was there, he was taking out the trash as like a young kid. You know, his dad's the boss.
And now look at him.
And now he's on the box.
That's how he. That's honestly, if you're not progressing, you're not doing it right. So shout out to Max.
And we got females out there too. More than
Okay.
one. We got Heather Trees in this one.
Awesome.
And let's see.
I wish there was more female racers, man. Like I would love to see a female up front with Jake Gagne and Daniel Protrude.
Yeah, for sure. And we got Trevor Watson of the 800 High Rev Trev. You can find him on Instagram. And he was one of the last guys I podcasted with. I think he was like number 92.
That's awesome.
I was hanging with him for a couple hours in his pits. He unfortunately did not qualify for the event. He was telling me he kept getting balked from different riders, getting slowed down at different points. But if you took his optimal lap time, he would have qualified like 17th. But if you're based on your fastest lap and not your optimal lap, he qualified. He was 29th, and they took the top 28. And he was off by 0.2 of a second.
Oh, my God.
So they even went up to race control and like tried to protest or appeal it or whatnot. And they said, sorry, you can't do it, but, if you look in the race pace, he would have been like mid-pack. He would have been up there. He would not been lapped, I don't think, at all. But he said he was like a significant portion down on the straightaway as far as his top speed, because it's a stock bike in the stock 1000 class. I think he said like almost 20 miles an hour down on this top speed. So that's like it's nuts to be that competitive and not be that close on top speed.
Yeah, no, and that's what's so mental and so I don't want to say annoying, but frustrating about our game, because it's a mental game, Eric. One day you could be blazing Saturday, and it's Sunday you're just not there for whatever reason. It could be something about work, something about family, your kid, so that's why you got to clear your state. And that's why I never, with your buddy, 0.2 hundredths of a second off, like that right there is like that needle. It could be any slight bit throttle earlier, but again, everything happens for a reason, man. And everybody puts people in position for a reason, and he's going to grind harder. And because of that, whatever you want to, I don't want to see that as a failure, but that lesson learned, he's going to now put it on the box or get to it and to eventually do so, so.
Oh yeah. And it's a tight field, man. I don't even know how many nationalities are competing in each class, but it's not just Americans. We got South Africans and Brazilians and probably Canadians and Mexicans and Colombians, I think. I don't know all the nationalities off the top of my head. But it's quite a stacked field. And what they don't really cover, I don't know if it's for not embarrassing the riders who don't compete or don't make the grid. I don't want to say it as a bad thing at all. I think they should say, look, there were 40 bikes that tried to qualify and 28 make the grid. You don't hear about that on the broadcast. They don't talk about that in practice or anything. So I don't know. I think that should be more exposed because it's super tight. My buddy Josh Cardo, same thing. I don't know exactly how close he was, but I didn't see him out there at the final grid. So, they're trying their hardest and they're professionals, season-long veterans, and it happens.
You got a guy that's running. I think he's running his own program. A guy, Cody Curatolo, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
On a Beamer. I think he's out in out past a little bit past Midwest, and I kind of tapped in with him about a year ago, just supporting him what he's doing. Like, hey man, keep doing your thing as a smaller town guy on the Beamer. I asked some data questions with him from him, and he was like, dude, it's so expensive. It's so expensive, and it's political, and it's just a little difficult, But the world-class circuit of Moto America, it's awesome, and that's why he just keeps finding the budget and he keeps grinding and getting after it and chipping away, So it's really cool to be exposed to guys in the front of the pack, middle of the pack, back of the pack, and even the guy in the back of the pack is batshit fast. You know what I mean? It's for your regular CCS guy.
If you took any rider, one of those riders out of there and put him at a track day, they'd be the fastest guy there by far.
Good night. And but we all take into consideration. We're like, all right, but that guy's in the back. Okay, but he would come to Jersey, CCS, and body everything, So again,
but it's like you get all those I don't know, keyboard warriors or people yelling at the TV. It's like, oh, you suck or whatever. But it's like you just don't realize what the level is.
Yeah, the level that nasty. Those guys up front, like just that nasty. Like even looking at Jake Gagne when he crashed out, like even his crash, like they just tuck the front so smooth, but they're flying. But they're flying.
They just set the lap record pace the lap before. And then, he's trying to go even faster. Like he's never satisfied. Any racer is always looking for another 10th, another 100th. It's like, oh, there's more in that corner. I know, I just gave it up. There was a little wiggle last time. Maybe I can do a little smoother this next time and get a little harder on the throttle. And I guess not today.
Yeah. And they get it or they make it, and most times not. They're like that Loris Bass pass on Cam Peterson last year by the corkscrew at Laguna Seca, like right above the corkscrew and then fell in, like shit like that. Like, and then he's on Dunlops that he doesn't even know. He's a Pirelli guy. Like, yo,
you
bro.
just have to have so much confidence and go in there with so much conviction. I can't think of the word. It's like you just have to be so committed to the corner.
Like,
you have to be 100% committed to what you're doing and know it's going to work out and know in your abilities that you've done it before. And it's not like you're just trying something new this time. It's like you've done this 1,000 times. This is just the same corner at that track. It's just at a different one. It just they all kind of mesh together after a while.
Exactly. Yeah, man. So it's just awesome to see guys, that are freaks of nature like that with these bikes that just have no, like Corey, being one of the biggest guys on the circuit, if not the tallest guy. Him, and I think Lewis is tall as hell too.
How tall do you think Corey is now? 6'5", 6'7"?
Corey, I mean,
I have no idea.
Yeah, Corey, I've picked a million pictures with Corey. He did my morning meeting with me last summer in August for my birthday. Corey's about 6'5", 6'4". Yeah,
okay.
6'4".
That's up there, yeah.
Yeah, he's tall. So, and I think Jake Lewis is really tall as well. So to see Corey be so tall, and that was one of the issues I believe that he had with the Cowie, just finding like a tuck until he had the bigger screen. But now he likes the Beamer. The fact that he's able to just put that bike anywhere and he's so big is really cool because your typical jockey is that small guy, your Cam Bobier. I mean, me and him are like the same height, at 5'10". He's not a big dude, then you got even smaller guys than that. And then what's this kid, young kid from Jersey? He's on the Suzuki now. Brandon Posh. Posh. Like, I heard he's getting even taller. I haven't seen Brandon since last year, but
yeah, I was talking to he's on the Altus Motorsport team now, and I picked up Justin Jones in turn 12. I think it was on Sunday or Saturday. I think it was actually.
Jones, that's on Howie?
Justin, I think he's on the Suzuki.
Okay.
I think Altus is running Suzuki's.
I got you.
I believe, I could be wrong, but I think it was a Suzuki. And yeah, Posh was sitting right next to us when we were talking. We were standing. He was sitting at the fan walk, and we were just talking about Justin and his crash. And he said, "Man, because I used to race with Justin at Wera back in the day, and on the podium at Wera Nationals and all that stuff with him." Right. And he was like, "Man, I remember last night thinking about Eric Swann's face." I was like, "Why do I remember your face?" I was like, "Oh, because you picked me up in turn 12." It's like, oh, I kind of forgot about some of the crash. Like I was a little spotty in my memory about the crash afterwards. Right. And so I was like, why was I thinking about Eric Swahn while I was falling asleep? That was really weird. Your face was in my mind, he said.
Exactly. But honestly, man, I mean, you've rung your bell, I'm sure, like I have as well. Like when you see that person, you're just like
who is this? Help me, please. Where do I go? I don't know which way to go. Because when you have a crash, a lot of times the riders they don't know where they're supposed to go. They're winded. They just maybe got their bell rung a little bit. At least they're just so when we say like non-major injuries, that's usually like a bruising or maybe a sprained something or other, or like something kind of hurts, but it's not broken. Maybe a lot of sprained stuff, but nothing's usually bleeding. It's very rare that you have something bleeding in a motorcycle crash. Exactly. But I would recommend not hitting any stationary objects, though.
No. Like I said, get off on that, and it's still intact. 100 miles an hour slid across the ground. So they work, people. They work, and they clearly are. And then again, this is a smaller company suit. This is not, a Alpine Stars, a Revit. So I'm not trying to compare better. We're not doing that. Get some protection. Get a suit that's going to protect you Get a suit that you're comfortable with. Get a suit that makes sense economically for you. And just go out there and have fun. You know, like I said, everybody has their own agenda. Some guys want to race and be on TV. Some guys want to teach and influence their peers and people around the world that just see fit. Some people don't want to hear what I have to say, and they just want to go to the track once a month and just be around the atmosphere, take pictures, and leave. Whatever your realm is, your threshold is, dude. Like, you just do what you want. You live your truth, and there's somebody for everybody, like you said before, you know, Eric. So, hell yeah, man.
And there's people ask, well, how do you go to the racetrack and all this stuff? And one of the ways that I'm learning about it is not necessarily on the bike riding or racing, but there's a lot of people that are needed for one single race event, be it amateur or a track day or a Moto America, a MotoGP. There's tire vendors, there's suit repairers or suit tailors and product vendors and beer vendors and food and barbecue and you can sell tennis shoes. It doesn't matter what product you have. You have a market of thousands of people who are walking. In one area. Typically, the motorcycle scene has money, right? It's a luxury hobby that you don't need to do, it's completely unnecessary really for your transportation in America, because most people in America use cars. Correct. So everybody here has expendable income. Everybody here can pretty much afford a $1,000 race suit to go on their $6,000 to $10,000 motorcycle, and all this stuff. So people have money to spend at these events. And so if you come there selling shoes or basketballs or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. People we're looking for just that.
The market for everything. Dude, and just because you like bikes doesn't mean that you didn't like the lady selling the sunflowers on the side and you like flowers. You're a plant lover. You're a vegan for the last 10 years or whatever, shall you, So that made a good point though, Eric, because again, a lot of people think that track is just, changing tires and, burnout boxes. No, dude, there's a whole bunch of, just like the drag strip back in the day, English Town, Echo, I don't know what close drag strip trips you have, to there coming up, but my parents would take us and do it. They had the cotton candy area. They had the freaking the heavy hammer that you hit the carnival thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sometimes they bring a Ferris wheel or like those big wheels,
There's so many things to a track day or these events, or even like you said, the races with vendors that honestly, man, even if you were looking to just get just your fix of bikes and not even just race, but you just wanted to scratch that itch, you can live vicariously through the racers in the paddock by literally walking up to them. Hey man, how you doing? My name's Eddie. My name's Eric. Hey man, can you tell me what that little box is on your forks right there? Why is it blinking that? A million things, dude. And now, hey man, come here, let me show you. It's never like a get away from me, and that's what I like. The Moto America and the top tier racing. So yeah, man.
You can even volunteer and help out. Moto America always needs volunteers and paid volunteers at that for air fence setup, usually before the events on Thursday and tear down on Sunday. So there's money to be made if anybody wants to do hard labor and put those up. And also there's scaffolding for all of the camera crew that needs to be put up and taken down, which is a big job. And during the event, we need flag marshals waving the flag. So you do need some training for some of this stuff, but you're talking like a day or two of training, and then you can do it. You know how to do it, and you just get better as you go. We also need track marshals for runners, they call them. So you're running out and picking up bikes, and that's a little bit of training involved as well. A little bit more hazardous position, I'd say, but it's definitely needed. For sure. So we need people for actually running the event, and photographers and videographers make money as well. But some of those you do need credentials from different series. So I'm trying to think of all the different jobs that you could have at a racetrack. Being a mechanic for a crew. Justin I had on here not long ago, and he was just walking around at a pro race event, I think in Utah, and happened to he had signed up, I think, for Kyle's Army program, so he was already kind of a supporter of the program, and he was, I think, wearing the shirt. So he was just walking by the pit lane and saw that, just said hi and didn't keep walking. He just started talking to him, and started up a conversation. And he's like, they started working on the bike, and he's like, you guys need any help with anything? And you're like, yeah, actually, could you like hold this or something, And that's how he got started. He was just like,
That-
and now
that
he's
bike-
part of their pit crew and, you know, a paid member, I'm sure, and like travels to every event or select events, whichever works with his schedule. And, you know, you can literally become part of the pit crew of a pro or amateur race team just by helping out or maybe even volunteering for a couple times because we don't always have like thousands of dollars to pay you.
Right. Right.
But it's definitely very, very much helpful because a lot of people travel by themselves and do all the driving themselves, set
Right.
up by themselves, do the tire
Yep.
warmers, the stands, the canopy by themselves, which is not fun all the time. Usually, you
No.
ask a buddy who's down there, "Hey, can you help me with the canopy for a second?"
Exactly.
And then you're back on your own. But
For sure. Exactly. No, for sure, dude. Like it's so much. Um, and like even myself, like so me having my company of 22 Motorworks, like designing, I started out designing bikes, doing like little powder coating again, minute scale, very small, and then got the popularity locally. And it's like anything, you know, you come like a local town hero, and then people start hearing about you the next town, and then the zone just gets bigger, and the geography just grows. And again, to just powder coating, and then it started to some liveries, some decals, some imagery. I actually just put I don't know, did you get a chance to see the hammerhead shark that I posted on my
I
page?
have to check that out.
Yeah. So what I did was I did the V4R carbon fiber winglets on the front of the bike, strategically placed where they do work, and I incorporated it into like a 1990s theme. I don't know how old you are, Eric, but I'm 32 years old. The 1990s
I just
cartoon.
turned 30.
Okay, so are you familiar with the 1990s cartoon Street Sharks?
Oh man, it's been a while.
Okay, get up the line. Go on Google and type in Street Sharks, and it's
Street
a
sharks.
Yep, and it was a cartoon with these big muscular sharks. They have like hot rods and cool cars like save the day. They fight, you know, crazy shit. And that was just kind of like a thing, like Auto Rocket, you know, Rocket Power coming up back in the day,
Yeah.
like nostalgia. And you know, the Beamer has the gills on the side and the whole land shark theme. And I took that and did like a 3D tooth with like a diamond tooth on the bottom. And
Yeah.
I did the bandana paisley print on the tank. So I'd like you to definitely try to tag that out. But I say that to say, I've always wanted to do like a Moto America bike, or always wanted to maybe, you know, able to help out a Moto America team with some type of livery of my own, with their colors, their organization, their whole logistics, but me to have hands in on that.
Yeah.
And Chris Crizel for Drip and Wet does amazing. I'm a good
Yeah.
personal.
I've
So
worked
I'm
with
not.
him as well before.
Yeah, Chris, you got Inline Designs in Florida. These are both awesome guys, dude, that I've personally worked with and currently work with certain projects, and I have nothing bad to say about them. I'm just personally kind of like a Nike, Adidas, and Reebok. I'm the little Reebok.
Sure.
I can kind of services too, you know, and I've always wanted to have a bike in the paddock of Moto America. So anybody watching that, you know, is looking to maybe bring a kind of a freestyle street flair to their body work, I would love to maybe work some out and deal with the team. But again, I have a bike on my page, Easy22, EAZY22_, and it's the baby blue. It's actually a Lamborghini teal, but it's a Lamborghini teal color that I did on this carbon fiber Street Shark, and it looks awesome. It's called Hammerhead.
Sure.
So
Yeah. You know, I've found it's a little easier to contact some of the lower aged riders, like the junior cup guys and the super sport, because the super bike guys are so big now, they don't see your messages. So it's like you got to go with the low hanging fruit nowadays, and they're looking for more exposure. You know, the super bike guys already have a lot of exposure. So
whatever.
you know.
That's it. Yeah, you gotta crawl before you run, dude. So I'm not being like, hey, Daniel Petrucci, call me up. No, Warhorse, call me. No. Anybody that's in the Moto America, that's even in an independent guy like Cody. Cody has a whole bunch of, you know, Cody Racing stickers all over his bike. Him, you know what I mean? So not necessarily, hey, Tyler Racing, give me a call. Tyler Cycles, call me. No.
Yeah,
But
that's a new sponsor. It seems like Tyler Cycles is putting their name out there in a couple different bikes.
and they're freaking. You see Kyle this weekend. They're getting it done, dude. So I'm so
Yeah,
happy.
that's impressive. Kyle Wyman on the box for two different classes. I think maybe 3 podiums. Did he get?
Yep. Yeah, he did. I know he won King of the Baggers, and then you know, Harley let him rock out and jump on the Beamer, and he kicked leg and podium 4th place. Killed it.
And that's not even his ride. That's PJ's ride, and he was like sick or something, I heard. So he just randomly jumped on this bike he probably never rode before, and put it on the box in Superbike.
Yo, dude, but also Kyle just has that experience. Kyle's just that animal. He was on that Ducati ride for a while, which I'm actually surprised that Kyle didn't do even better on the Ducati with all the data that is in the US with the Ducati, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, well, some people just mesh with different things, different ways. It sounds like he might have found his way with BMW. He was pretty surprised at his pace.
in 2 days, he found it in 2 days versus 2 seasons with the Ducati. You get me? But yo, that's how it clicks sometimes. You know what I mean? So
What do you think the
that
horsepower difference between that BMW Superbike and the stock 1000 is?
yo man. So I actually had a Superbike spec built 2019, which is still not of the same caliber of the new bike, but I made 237 to the rear wheel on MR12 on fuel,
Yeah.
shave pistons, rods, cams, all done, decked. And so I can personally say, having ridden a bike at 240 horsepower to the rear wheel stock wheelbase, which is absolutely animalistic. I don't even know how those boys like Cam Peterson and Jake put those bikes how they want to and stop them and get
Tons
out
of electronics. You can hear the brrr, like the electronics kicking in, the sputter in the rear tire all the time. It's like, man, dude, how are they riding these bikes? Are they actually going just to full stop really quick? Because it sounds like they're just ripping it and the electronics are kicking in a ton. So I'm not sure exactly how they're getting out the corners anymore with their right hand.
Well, it's funny because I was asking this the other day, and I've been told that these dudes have data where they have traction control per turn.
Oh, it's like GPS mapped now, or it's like if you've gone X amount of time through the corner, you should, or through the lap, you should be at this corner now.
Yep.
So it changes based on that.
And I think they were saying that Corey had an issue with the electronics of the Cowie, and that was why he was so much deadlier now on the Beamer, because it's predictable. On the Cowie, he didn't know if he was going to get wheel spin. He didn't know if he was going to kick in on him. And then when it did kick in, I mean, there's a point of view shot of Corey riding the Jersey, and you could just hear the just slapping all day the limiter when he's and I'm the traction control.
Yeah.
And it sounds. But again, that's their research and development. That's their data, you know. But yeah, that Beamer, it's so funny, man. Corey put it on the box this weekend, both days, and then Scott's over the pond and he's struggling. You know what I mean? And it's like, is the Beamer? Everybody says the Beamer's not a track weapon. It sucks. The R1's everything. The Ducati's everything. Beamer's never really had a name. And then obviously Johnny Ray's doing crazy shit on the Cowie. But it's like, is the Beamer really a contender? And if it is, why can't we get a Corey Alexander result over the pond? And Scott's amazing. He's amazing. You know? So that's that's my little interior, like, Beamer lover gripe. You know what I mean? Like, we got to get it together, you know? But Laura,
when are we going to see BMW in MotoGP again?
I wasn't even aware that they even were in MotoGP, dude.
No, I said, when are we going to see them? Maybe they were never in there. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. I was going to say, I don't even know if BMW's even ever been in MotoGP. If they were, dude, I would love
or like
to see that.
Kawasaki, but, you know, they're doing so well in World Superbike. It's like, do they need to spend $10 million a year? Probably more than that.
Well, I mean, you're talking a whole different ballgame with Beamer and Cowie. Cowie's winning. Beamer's not. So how does Beamer go to the GP series? You got to crawl before you walk, Eric. You know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just so much exposure for the brand.
I mean, but BMW is always going to be just that top tier. Just so is Ducati, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You don't know anything about Ducati, but because it's the Lamborghini of bikes, that's what we're buying. And then you got guys that know that it comes with that Olin's package and that, you know, with some little tweaking, that's the bad girl right there, you know? So it's just, again, it's all on your market, dude. You got the guy with the Ducati that's got a 12-inch chicken strip, but he just has a Ducati. But it is, you know?
But he's got his dream bike because it's red.
Because it's a Ducati. Like, can't even pronounce Superleggera, just Ducati.
Superleggera.
You know, Dainese, he sees that Valentino Rossi wears it, so he's going to ride like him. So he wears the, you know, that's how it goes, you know?
Yeah.
But shout out to those guys. Shout out to Dainese, Revit, all these groups, all these companies. Shout out to yourself, Eric, you know, for just, again, we all just want to live the dream, dude. Everybody comes out with a brand. Everybody comes out with a marketing plan, all because they want to better themselves and better their community around them, you know? And it's just some companies make through, like Dainese, like Alpine Stars, like Revit, you know? And it's some companies, you know, are smaller scale, 22 Motorworks, that are showing that level before it booms, you know? Like yourself, you know, Eric Swahn Racing. So there's just so many things, dude, that we're doing on a smaller scale that are just going to keep growing over time, consistency and genuine energy. And that's just what the hell I'm here for. Rome wasn't built overnight, but it's one of the prettiest geographic areas you'll ever see, you know, today.
Heck yeah. You got to just keep beating on your craft and not give up on it.
That's it, dude. That is it, man.
So tell me about some of your, I know you mentioned a couple of them, but tell me about some of your sponsors, people who are supporting you, behind you.
Absolutely, man. So Historic GP out of Jersey. Shout out to Salem. Shout out to Justin at Trackside Parts Club. He's out of Jersey. Really cool guy. I mean, the list goes, dude. There's a lot of personal guys support me. Shout out to Hudson Valley Cycles.
Or friends that help you out with tire warmers at the track.
Yeah. Oh, buddy of mine. A couple of buddies of mine. Well, I mean, you got my brother Taquan. Shout out to my buddies. Shout out to all my buddies at Nah Behavior Riders. No Kickstands. You got a couple groups out there. You have Team Fast Life. Shout out to Reaper. Shout out to Sauceman. You got Team Reckless Racing. They're doing their thing out there on the East Coast. Shout out to those guys having some track days. There's a lot of groups out there, man. You got Certified Knee Draggers. They're doing their thing.
Which tracks are you normally going to on the East Coast? What's your home tracks that you normally hit?
Yeah, man. So I really haven't even had that many exposure at many different tracks, dude. I mainly ride at Safety Track. That's where I'm hosting my private track day, June 17th. I'm a coach now at Jersey with Riders Club. So I've been at Thunderbolt Lightning. I've been to BMW. They sent me down to Double R Fest with Nate Kern back in July. I think that was August. So I've been to VIR North. That was really cool to see VIR. It was a damn long drive, dude.
Yeah, it's in Virginia, Alton, Virginia.
Yep. And it's a beautiful, beautiful like park entry. You know what I mean?
For
like
lovers,
the way,
man.
all the signs.
Right.
I've been to NC Bike. NC Bike's really cool. Shout out to Moto Gladiator, that organization there.
North Carolina.
Shout out to Jerome Chowski at Pit Lane Moto. He supports me. Awesome guy. He sent me some parts, some clip-ons for the Beamer. I know I'm forgetting a million names, dude. Max BMW for the Michelin tires. I have a sponsorship with them. I have a significant amount off on slicks this year because of them. So shout out to Max, Zach, Wiley.
And how much better are those slicks than the standard DOTs?
All right. So to be honest with you, man, again, it's all on preference. I was on the street, strictly for the street, because I know some people are going to judge when I say this. But on the streets, I was a Bridgestone guy, an RS10 guy, believe it or not. I love the RS10s. They were a beautiful tire for what we were doing on the street. Again, I can't stress it enough. When I came to the track, my first tire was the stock Metzler K3. I'm on 10%. I'm running down lower. But anyway,
right.
Yeah, the Metzler K3s were the first tire that I ever rode on a track. And then I didn't feel confident, Eric. I felt the tire, the front was very spongy. I couldn't really feel grip in my hands, as I know you know that feeling. So then I went to the Cup 2s. I went to the Michelin Cup 2s. Shout out to Power. So a buddy of mine, Power the Beast, is his Instagram. He races down in Homestead. He's with Free Hugs Racing, a group of guys down there, really cool guys, fast guys down in Florida. But Power put me onto a guy. I got a set of Cup 2s. I got my knee down for the first time in 2020 with the Cup 2s and feeling the bike, feeling body position, feeling, level with the bike, what the bike's doing underneath me. And then a buddy of mine, one of the Toto Verdos, an old friend of mine from Certified Knee Draggers now, he gave me a set of Takeoff, SC2 front, SC1 rear.
The Pirellis.
And that was my first time really feeling some Pirelli rubber. And I got the elbow down with the Pirelli rubber my first season,
Nice.
which was awesome.
Heck yeah. It's so grippy. It's you could never drag your elbow safely, I think, on the streets because your tires are never warmed up properly. You don't have the right tire compound in the first place, and it's just too dangerous with the runoff area. But on the track, your tires are so hot, you're able to use the full lean angle of the machine and actually get your elbow down. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was and it's one of those things, man. Honestly, I don't want to create a false narrative with that. Elbow is just one of those things for the picture. It looks cool.
Oh yeah, it's just a feeler. It's just a reference point.
Right. At my stage. I mean, you got guys like Ricky, that Stefano Mesa, that they throw that elbow because again, they feel it and they need to be there. You know what I mean? I'm not at a pace where I'm just dragging elbow because I'm that fast and that low to where I'm flying. Let me claim it. But have the ability to do so and feel that feeler. It's have that little scuff on the elbow when you're walking around.
It's a different club, right? It's a certain club that not every rider is involved in. I am not an elbow dragger. I do not. That's just not my style. I don't ride with my elbows up like this. I have more of inwards elbows.
Right.
Just what is your style and how does that benefit you? But yeah, if you look at most of the top guys, they have that style where it's above their knee and in front of it, and that's an easy way to kind of get your elbow down.
Exactly, dude. Like I said, it's just a flex, and everything in life, dude. It just comes. It comes. You have to have your own personal goals. And if your own personal goal is the drag knee, then damn it, learn how to do it the right way. If your personal is the, like I said, drag elbow, and I don't know if you've seen that. It's like a famous video of this dude named Gilly Man. Actually,
Gilly Man. Oh yeah, Dustin Hafgar.
Yeah, God rest in peace, man. But he passed away like I think like a year or two ago. But Gilly Man, dude, Gilly dragged his helmet. And I get sent that video to this day, like, yo, Easy, do that shit. And I'm like, bro, I'm not about to just drag an X14. I kill myself before even getting close. But I say that to say, Eric, like, whatever your goal is, man, elbow drag, helmet drag, fucking knee drag.
I've seen shoulders, yeah.
I've seen shoulders of gangster, Fabio Quartararo dragging the shoulder, like, whatever you want to. Corey 6'5", dude, elbow, shoulder on the ground. Like, he's an animal, man. He's a fucking animal. But whatever your goal is, you just go for your goal and you don't stop until you get it, bro. And you utilize the resources and the people that are near you that are willing to help you. Because everybody in this game is not willing to help you, dude. Some people will shit on your parade and try to rain on your parade, even when you're doing something good, just to discourage you so you stop getting better. And that shit is weird to me, dude. You know, but at the end of the day, if everybody was good, we wouldn't appreciate good things, you know. Some of the bad things in life make us appreciate the good shit, you know. So again, Eric, man, what you're doing and what we're doing today is awesome. And I think I'm on like 4%, so I might be running a little low, dude, you know. But
so we can wrap this up, no problem. Let me just tell you real quick, the next couple of events I should be at. I'm going to be next week, I guess it is, Formula One Miami as a track marshal there. So I'll be working that event, going down probably Wednesday to Monday type of thing.
Okay.
For the Formula One event. And then the next one after that, I think Wera Nationals, possibly at Road Atlanta,
Nice.
Detroit IndyCar at Belle Isle. And then in between all of these, I'm actually going to be an MSF instructor, so Motorcycle Safety Foundation, for coaching, getting riders their street license.
Nice.
It's just a basic rider courses and advanced rider courses, but it's a new foray into coaching for me. And then hopefully we'll do some CCS at New Jersey in June, as well as I think there's a Nelson Ledges in June for Wera I could hit. I'm thinking most of my weekends are already assigned for this season. I'm doing quite a bit. And then Moto America at Pittsburgh, I got New Jersey, and then Barber for Moto America. So I hope to do some riding in there as well for Supermoto. So I'm looking to use my new Cowie 300 Supermoto doing that.
Okay.
So, I know you got your battery is about to expire on you, so I won't keep you, but I'll get this posted pretty soon, and we'll tag everybody we talked about.
Excellent. Thank you for everybody else. I'll be there in June. I'll also be there for the July circuit as well. And man, God bless you, dude. Shout out to everybody that tuned in today. And Eric, I appreciate you for having me today, dude. I really, really do.
For sure. Let's follow up in a year or so.
Exactly. I will, dude. You guys all take care, man. Follow me on Instagram, Easy22 and 22_Motorworks, MOTOWERKS. Appreciate you guys, man. Have a good day.
All right. I'll see you at the racetrack.